Rosemary had been married for 44 years. They had 2 daughters and 5 grandchildren. your name, I'm sorry. From what? Is a member of the Comanche Nation. He's a former elected member of the Business Committee of the Comanche Nation. He plays an active role in the Heartland Apostolic Prayer Network and the Texas Apostolic Prayer Network. Mark is focused on the reconciliation of the land and people. And Sylvester, all of us here? Well, Sylvester, there he is. He's a Chiricahua. And Sylvester goes to church with me at 3C Cowboy Fellowship in Salinas. And Sylvester is instrumental in helping me bring forth this resolution by introducing me to these wonderful people. Sylvester has been married to Tina for 40 years, and he's the director of the recovery program at 3C Cowboy Fellowship, and he is studying to be a preacher. Please help me welcome our honored guests and take time to enjoy the music and dancing that will take place today at the Capitol Rotunda at noon and the extension open air rotunda at 1:30. The members and guests, please help me recognize the wonderful Indigenous people of Texas. Welcome to your house.
Romanticized, sometimes get trivialized. The Indigenous and Native Americans and the Indigenous people of this area have done for so many of us that we haven't always shown the respect that is due. And so I want to thank you for making the travels that you have. I want to thank you for praying in my office. All the prayers are welcome and needed as we start on this journey. And this is a new journey for us. We just got elected recently and sworn in, and so it's a privilege to have this be one of the first things that we get to work on because we think of it so important. It is so important to recognize and to honor the history that you represent, the generations and generations of men and women who were here so many years before the rest of all these buildings and the rest of everything else. So thank you for coming here, and we look forward to just doing a small bit to honor the history and the tradition that your families have had, and I think many years before even the state of Texas was even a thought in anybody's mind. Thank you very much. Thank you.